I'm in my suit with my duffel bag ready to go. And I just threw on like my sort of like snowsuit, camo coverall setup. And I'm in the garage, like suit on with this on, just washing them off. And it was like, it was something. So there's some good content. Yes.
That's going on the reel right there.
Yeah.
Pleased to welcome Josh Morrissey to the Ground Control Podcast. We saw something that we've seen many times before in the win over top of Chicago. It's you, Scheif, and Kyle Connor in overtime working together. What has worked so well for so many years when the three of you are on the ice in overtime?
Yeah, I mean, they're two outstanding players, so it's just fun to be out there with those guys. But, we've got a pretty solid chemistry, I think, working off each other, trying to create, sort of 2-on-2 scenarios, a little bit of isolation, and then obviously, create a 2-on-1 off of 2-on-2, if that makes sense. So, jump by somebody like Scheif did last night, and Casey, with his speed, made a great pass. I mean, it was in a way similar to a goal we scored against the Oilers last year. Just it was me passing to Scheif, almost the exact same setup. So, both those guys are just great at kind of, jumping by someone in a short span. And I think then it creates, like I said, 2-on-1s and quick plays and transition hockey that's tough to defend. So, it's definitely fun for me to play with those guys.
How much did you miss being on the penalty kill?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's something that I did a lot of growing through the first years of my career. When the opportunity to play on the Jets and in the NHL kind of started for me, it was, defensive minutes and penalty kill. Power play, offensive situations weren't really an option early on with some of the guys we had in their prime, and Buff and Myers and, Toby Enstrom and Trubes was well on his way. So, if I wanted to play, I had to kind of learn the PK and that side of the game. So did that for a number of years, and I enjoyed it. I thought I did well. I really added a lot to my game. When growing up, that wasn't really a huge part of my game. The offensive side was. And then, the last number of years, seeing the offensive side really kind of come out in my game, and encouragement from the coaches, and obviously getting to play with great players and being key situations, all that leads to that. But, now to be back on the PK is exciting. It's something that, Arnie talked about when he got the head coaching job, something I wanted to do or be a part of. And certainly I think any player wants to be out there more and more situations, more minutes. And for me, I want to be the best all-around player I can be. So if they feel I can help the team on the PK, then that's something that, I'll do whatever that is asked of me. And I think with the changes we made to our PK this year, it suits not just me, but our whole team with being a little more aggressive and trying to, end plays quicker, which is a strength of mine. So it's fun to be back out there.
Dean Chenault is now in charge of the defense and certainly the penalty kill. What have you enjoyed working with him? I know it's been a short amount of time, but you've spent a lot of time with him already.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's actually hilarious, but Dean's niece is my brother's fiance.
Okay.
So I know their whole family well. I played with Dean's brother, Jeff's son, growing up in Ryan, and obviously
there's Chanel's everywhere, man.
There is. They are a big hockey family, and obviously a ton of history in Western Canada and the NHL and WHL and everything else. So it was funny when we hired him. Arnie called me and was like, "Hey, we hired Dean Chenault," and he had no idea that I actually had never met Dean or talked to him. But obviously all the interconnections and past connections and, 1 degree of separation type of thing. So it's been really fun working with him. He's got a ton of experience as a player, as a coach. He's worked with a lot of great defensemen, and I think that's something that's always fun when you get to work with a new coach, is if they've had the chance to work with great players through the years, picking their brain about those guys and maybe some of the things they do that, you might not pick up on just in playing them a few times a year, watching them on TV and adding some skills to your game. So I've really enjoyed working with Dean, and, hopefully the the family connections. I mean, we were just at Edmonton last, obviously for the opening game.
Was the whole Chanel family there to welcome him?
My brother's in med school there, so him and his fiance Danik were there after, and we were all chatting. So it's kind of a cool side story and dynamic there for sure.
Oh, funny question, but can you name me 3 things that your younger brother Jake is better than you at?
Definitely gaming.
Okay.
100%. I would say, just trying to think on the top of my head, basketball.
Yeah.
You know? And geez, I don't know. I mean,
He is younger than you, so there's
he's taller than me as well.
Okay.
So I feel like the youth with the gaming,
Yeah.
height with the basketball, and then obviously anything to do with medicine. I mean,
No, he's got that.
He's got that
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it's awesome. I'm really pumped for him. It's a competitive field to try to make your way in, and just for him to get in there and now be kind of forging his own path, I think is pretty cool, and super proud of him.
Has he shown interest in this for quite some time now, or was it kind of new?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been just brilliant. Growing up, we both, like, our family was big on school, and we both do well in school. But, for me, I'd work really hard to get, a 90 or whatever. And Jake would not study and, be playing the video games. My parents would be on him, and he'd always he has an innate confidence, I would say. And he'd be like, no problem, don't worry about it. And then go in and, get 99% on the test. And the only mistake he made was, something simple. So,
That's aggravating.
It is for sure. It was so anyhow. He's he was a good hockey player. Played in WHL for 4 or 5 years, and decided to go take advantage of the scholarship program and do his undergrad in Calgary and then his master's. And so I think his goal has always been to go to med school and be a doctor. And so he's worked really hard. I can say now that he matches brains with work ethic, which has been really cool to see. And like I said, just whole family, and myself are unbelievably proud of him. And I think too, it's, as a younger brother, for me, I've always been highly touted in hockey, and we both played hockey, so there was probably elements of him being under my shadow at times,
right?
Just my career and everyone talking about me. And so now for him to just have his thing and have it be pretty amazing is wicked. And just really pumped to see him kind of forge his path here and doing his thing.
There's a special night coming up, 2 of them coming up right away. October 18th, it's Connor Hellebuyck night. I mean, we've seen the last couple of nights, the first 2 games of the season, what he is. He's won the Vezina Trophy, but just, can you tell us a little bit more about Connor as a person? Like, obviously, you know that a little bit more about than we do.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, he's I don't think I've ever really seen him angry, to be honest. And unless they take away like the chocolate chip cookies on the plane, we took that away for a little bit. And
that was like 17, 18, 18, 19.
Yeah, we had those were gone. He was mad. And then the pizza that we get on the road after the game sometimes was gone the other day, and he wasn't too happy. But other than that, or when he lets in any goals, he's angry. But even at that, it's usually more of a, scientific thought behind, okay, how did that go in, and how am I going to figure out how to make that save in the future? But yeah, just a really, humble guy, down-to-earth person, family man, obviously with his kids now. And he just, it's been cool to kind of get to know him through development camps and stuff. And then obviously, grow through, our careers, but also, our sort of growth as, humans as we become adults and get married. And now he's got kids. So it's been pretty sweet to see, but he's an outdoorsy guy, loves being outside, hunting, fishing, maybe the only other thing, which I think has been documented a bit, but he's a terrible fantasy football.
Still to this day, he overvalues everybody, right?
He's definitely the stingiest on the trading block, but I have to give him credit. He's willing to go back to the drawing board and make another deal. So, no, he's the best. And, I think about my career, I've been fortunate to have him, backstopping us for almost every game I played for the Jets. And that definitely makes my life a lot easier over the course of my career. I'm Josh Morrissey,
Morrissey rips and scores!
and this is the Ground Control Podcast.
October 20th, it's Bryan Little night. Obviously, such a quiet guy, and this is a well-deserving night for him. What is it going to mean to you to have him back here and then just have everyone celebrate Bryan Little for what he did and what he brought to this organization?
Yeah, I mean, Litzy was kind of always underappreciated, I think, and sort of under-talked about. Just he was so good at everything. Like, he really was such a solid player, offensively, defensively, good passer, good shooter, face-off guy. I mean, competitor. He was always in great physical shape. Great guy, like you said, like he's quieter person, but as a younger player coming into the team and my rookie year and first couple of years, he was always super friendly to me, welcoming to me, would offer advice if asked. And his wife was awesome as well. Just an amazing family. And so I think obviously just devastating the way that his career ended. And, it kind of just happened. All of a sudden he didn't, play again. And that was it. And I don't think he ever, unfortunately, got that sort of recognition from or ability to have the fans and everyone sort of show their appreciation for everything he did here in Winnipeg for the community and for the fan base on and off the ice. So for him to have that night, I think we'll all be fired up to see him. But also he's beyond deserving of that and, getting the opportunity for, to see how much he meant to everyone and show their appreciation for what he meant to this team and this community.
You're part of the leadership group now. What did you learn, say, maybe from him when he was part of the leadership group here?
Yeah, I mean, he was a guy that just true professional, I think. Every single day, he was coming to the rink ready to work, whether it was in the gym before and after practice, training, taking care of his body, all of those elements. He was always just a pro. His preparation for games, how hard he worked in practice, attention to detail in games, on the ice. I don't know if he ever got a route wrong or missed an assignment. Like, he was just a true professional. And so, not being the loudest guy, that didn't affect his leadership ability whatsoever. He led by example, and just by the habits that he had, the professionalism, the consistency in what he does. I think for a young guy, that's a huge thing to be able to see. Nobody's used to coming into the NHL, that rigorous 82-game schedule with the travel and the time zones and, the elite level of play that every night in the NHL yields. And so for him, showing us young guys that day in, day out professionalism and preparation, I think was something that I definitely saw and learned from. And, I've tried to, I guess, carry that in as my career has gone on.
Would Bryan Little be impressed with the fact that you've taken up cooking and have your own restaurant and stuff like that now?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's a triathlon champion now. You've got the restaurant. A lot of things have changed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a machine. I mean, like I said, physically, the guy was always just in unbelievable shape, and it's pretty cool to watch him do what he's done since he's retired in triathlon world, and he's just a fitness machine.
Yeah, so you enjoy, going back to the restaurant part, how much are you enjoying that? Did you ever see that coming?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, no, to be honest, no, I probably didn't see it coming. It's something that, Bobby Matola, who runs Academy Hospitality and Pizzeria Gusto and, Gusto North and a bunch of restaurants here in town. I've been a customer of his restaurants for a long time, and as a result, kind of gotten to know him. He's catered some events and had some private events for us and the wives, girlfriends. So, through the years, we've kind of, talked about, hey, it'd be fun to, I'm an idea guy. So we're always talking about different things. And so is he. And so, we were just, it'd be fun to do something, in True North Square that's related to one of the players and kind of connect with the fans and the community in a little bit different way than, our usual day in, day out on the ice or maybe social media. And so, yeah, we were kind of sending some food options back and forth over text and my travels during the season. And, the conversation started like a year before it really came to fruition. And then all of a sudden, he just said, yeah, we've got the green light. There's a spot opening up and let's do it. So it's been fun to kind of explore some of the different menu items. I can thankfully, for everyone's sake, say that I have never been back there cooking. We did some...
Can you just say,
yeah,
I kind of own this, so I have to move over?
Yeah. I'm, for everyone's benefit, I'll be a customer and be around in that capacity, but I won't be back there. I think we wouldn't last too long if I was. So, but it was fun even the day we did a bunch of content to kind of go back there and, learn some of the skills and at least pretend for the video and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been really fun.
What do you think? What was something about owning a restaurant that you didn't think that was challenging that you didn't expect?
Well, I think, obviously, like, to be perfectly honest, Bobby's made it very easy.
Right.
I get to come up with some ideas and, be part of more of the fan engagement side.
Right.
Customer engagement side. And, he's pretty well polished on operating restaurants, where I am not. I know how to be out here on the ice, but not necessarily the ins and outs of, ordering food and prep and all of those things. So thankfully, he kind of just said, leave it to me. I'm going to, this is my area of expertise. And so that's been cool. I think the one thing that I didn't expect was just the fan engagement and people that, are messaging me all the time. Like, we had a great time at the restaurant, or, some of the different stories that people run into someone in the community and, they kind of connect with it in some way. So it's been kind of fun and that was the goal, really, to be able to connect with the community and fans in a little bit different way than, like I said, we do, day in, day out.
What kind of ideas did you get from your trip to Italy? And tell us about that off-season trip as well.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, my wife, Margot, and I have tried to travel quite a bit. We don't have any kids at this point in time. So, in the off season, I think I like to get away for a couple weeks, usually early in the summer. It's a long year, and I find just, honestly, what I probably love most about going to Europe early in the summer is just, the time change. People aren't texting you at those hours that you're up mostly during the day. So even though I'm not turning my phone off, it's kind of, just being totally in the moment, being across the world feels, like more of a break. So we had the chance to, go through France and Spain, Italy. This was our second time there, and we had a bunch of family, spent some time in Rome, and then just over a week in Tuscany. So obviously Tuscan cuisine, amazing. Probably if I could choose one cuisine or area of the world to eat day in, day out, it would probably be there. Just the fresh produce and pasta, everything is just fantastic. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Super hot, like 37, 38, nice. Which I think no one from Winnipeg would complain about. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, from Calgary, played in Saskatchewan junior, played in Winnipeg my whole career.
Very weather.
38, 39 degrees is a little out of my realm of comfortable. So for the few days, sweating through some shirts, but it was fun.
No kids, but 2 dogs. How does that go? What's that like? How's the hair?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably covered in half of my 2 dogs right now. Definitely have to have, the wind rollers kicking around at all times, but it's awesome. Like, we got our first dog, Ace. He's like 3.5 now, and, just was amazing. And we wanted to get him a buddy to hang out with, so he always had, he was never alone. And,
right.
got our second dog, Bud, almost a year ago now. And yeah, they're a ton of fun. I mean, people say it all the time, but you have a good day, bad day, good game, bad game, whatever it is, come home, they're just happy to see you, and makes life makes life better. There's just no other way to put it. So absolutely, it's a lot of work at times, especially with the second puppy coming in the fold, but it's been fun and worth it for sure.
Traditionally, when you go on the road, things always go sideways. Do the dogs ever act out when you're out of town, or do things?
I mean, honestly, they probably, I feel like the alpha to them is my wife.
Okay.
It's more when my wife's out of town and it's just me and the dogs that it seems like, things go awry.
Yeah.
I don't think it's negligence on my behalf, but
Well, they have structure.
I'm the fun parent,
Yeah,
clearly. So
you're the fun guy.
it is what it is. I mean, you just can't fight that kind of thing. So sometimes they just have a little too much fun.
Right.
But yeah, there was a stretch of time, actually, funny story, kind of gross, but when we got Ace, it was probably, I think he was about a year and a half, and Margot was back in Calgary, and maybe even 2. And my buddies were in town, like 3 of my best childhood friends and guys from back in Calgary. And we had a couple days, came in for a few games, and the one was an afternoon game. And there was this thing where whenever Margot was out of town, Ace would always get like the worst diarrhea. And I think it was just anxiety because he was like, there's no structure here anymore.
I think I see what's happening here.
Yeah. And so we're about to leave, and I'm about to leave for the game. And sure enough, he comes inside, and he's a golden retriever, so he's got lots of fur, and it was quite a mess. And so I'm like, I gotta go. Like I can't wait. So one of my good buddies had to take him into the garage and hose him down.
My guess is he had rolled.
Yeah, I was just pick whatever you're picturing was probably about that or worse. I mean, it was something else. So thankfully, I just handed it off to my friend Quinn, and
It's perfect.
he.
Did you do a good job at least?
Yeah, when we got home, everything was good. I mean, he said they bonded over it.
Yeah.
So that was something.
Cleaning poop as someone's fur. I think you should be able to bond there a little bit.
Yeah, like you're kind of just breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
So, and then there was another instance where I was headed out of town. It was just Ace and I going on the road, and just had to go meet at the plane. And sure enough, right as I'm about to leave, take him out for the last time, and someone's going to come pick him up later to watch him for a few days, and same situation.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm in my suit with my duffel bag ready to go, and I just threw on like my sort of like snowsuit camo coverall setup, and I'm in the garage like suit on with this on, just washing him off, and it was like, it was something. So there's some good content. Yes.
That's going on the reel right there. Last one before I let you go. Greatest athletic achievement, non-hockey related.
It's a good question. I mean, I would probably say, in recent memory, golf is something I do a lot in the summer. I've shot even par a few times, never been able to break par, so that's a goal in the future. But yeah, I would say in recent memory, that would probably be it.
Okay, I lied actually. How much do you miss snowboarding / skiing since you grew up so close to the mountains because of hockey?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's something I'd love to do again after my career. I mean, of course, with the liability of it now, it's just not really possible. But it was something that I enjoyed. My wife's family would go out to the mountains every weekend and go skiing and snowboarding, whatever it was. So
You'd have to stay at home. This is before. Yeah.
But we were a hockey family, so Saturday, Sunday, it was always my game, practice, or my brother's both days. So we grew up skiing, and then it became less and less frequent as we were teenagers. But certainly, something I'd love to get back into, when hopefully, many years down the line.
Right. Thanks so much for your time, and good luck the rest of the season, hey?
Yeah, thanks for having me.